stage is on. I am joined by a man who needs no introduction, but I'm going to introduce you anyway. Greg Kasavin, 2K Games. How's the show treating you so far?
It's treating me pretty great so far. I've been, even though I've been stuck in here this entire time, demoing Spec Ops: The Line to people, but it's been great showing it. So
awesome. So this is, I know you've shown it to the press a few times in the last few months, but this is kind of the big public expo for it. So. Give us a real brief rundown, first of all, of just like what you're showing in the game, what like kind of vertical slice we're looking at.
Yeah. What we're showing is a level that takes place like less than halfway through the campaign. That basically conveys a lot of what we're going for with this game, both in terms of like this sort of awe-inspiring environment of this like disaster-stricken city of Dubai, and also just the overall tone and atmosphere that we're going for, which is relatively dark, even among all the other dark games that are out there. Right. So. I think 2K is pretty well known for like having games with like a very specific and like inspired atmosphere, and that's what they're trying to bring to the table of this game. So it's cool to see people's reaction. People come out of there, feeling relatively shell shocked and stuff like that. So that's kind of what we're going for. Let's
face it, war is hell in all its forms. But you guys seem to really be taking like the unsettling nature of warfare to a pretty dark and sort of internal or intimate place. Can you kind of give us an indication of how you're sort of like penetrating the heart of the player of the game?
Yeah, one of the sort of literary inspirations for the story is Joseph Conrad's Heart of Darkness, and we're going for this story that is sort of this journey into the heart of darkness as you push deeper into Dubai, and the part of the significance of the subtitle here is the line between what's moral and justified versus what's necessary to the mission, and being in these situations that are like really uncomfortable and have no obvious right answer, but you have to do something, and you realize that even if you stop and become paralyzed, that's still taking an action. And so we have these moments in the story where you'll be forced to make these decisions, and then the story's going to kind of move forward no matter what. So we're pretty excited about those. Those are going to be some of the most kind of challenging and I think ultimately the most powerful scenes of the game. So they take a lot of work, but we're really excited about them conceptually. So the game is going to work on a different level than a lot of military shooters. It is going to kind of hit closer to home, I think, with a lot of players, and it's going to make you. At the same time, you could absolutely run and gun your way through this game. It's not like you have to stop and ponder your every action. It's a shooter. But for players who do like narrative depth, it'll offer that to them if they stop and kind of think about what they're doing as they play through.
When those moments of choice come up, my impression from the demo was, you're not going to be prompted, press A to take this action, B to do that. It seems like it kind of plays out within the game engine. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
That's your impression is exactly right. The idea of our decision scenes is absolutely not that you're prompted to choose A or B. There are scenes that are introduced and then play out using the actual game mechanics. So you'll be able to interact with this situation in a variety of ways, and how you act and when you act, those will all be kind of taken into consideration, things like that. And whether you act at all, like I said, there will be some situations where maybe you decide it's none of your business to interact with this scene and things like that.
To maintain the kind of narrative tension that you're going for, you would have to keep the story pretty tightly scripted. How flexible is it? How divergent can it get from the kind of core plot line based on those choices?
Yeah, it is a kind of well-structured story. It's not like a sandbox game or anything like that. You kind of move forward along this journey. But in those decision scenes, I mean, they're key moments in the story, and are designed to have multiple outcomes based on the scope of abilities that the player has. So we'll kind of we design different solutions based on the actions that you take, essentially, and there are going to be situations where your range of actions is obviously going to be constrained. So in that scene you saw there, you could attack, you could do nothing, you could look around, you could wait, then attack, things of that nature. So those will all kind of play out accordingly, and it factors into the design of all these scenes.
You guys have a multiplayer beta coming up soon. Can you real briefly kind of run that down for us?
Yeah. We will be starting a multiplayer beta, but we're mum on the details of it, except to say, it'll be on Xbox Live. It's a closed, like, exclusive beta. It's not a marketing beta like most betas are these days. So this is one of those old-fashioned betas where the game actually isn't done, and we actually want feedback to make the game better. That's what this thing is, and it's a representation of our commitment to making the multiplayer really good. I mean, again, it's like the shooter market is. It's incredible right now. There are a lot of really, really great shooters out there, and we're going up against the best, and we need to have great multiplayer as part of this package for us to even be taken seriously out there, and we fully intend to do that. So we're going to get thousands of players in there playing. We'll be tuning and balancing and taking that feedback into consideration as we finish it up.
Very cool. Now I want to ask. I know you've been chained to this, admittedly very elaborate and nicely air-conditioned room. Have you heard about or seen anything else at E3 that really has piqued your interest? What, like, if you had like 30 minutes to get out there, what is the one thing you would go straight to?
Oh man, what is the one thing? So we were just talking about the Mortal Kombat before the show. The
Mortal Kombat.
Yes, the Mortal Kombat. I like the fact that the new Mortal Kombat game looks like a throwback to Mortal Kombat 2. It looks really. I love that game. So that's really cool for me. The new Zelda announcement seemed. Really, I've seen barely anything on it, but it seemed really cool. I love the subtitle, Skyward Sword. That was that's the first time I've heard a subtitle in recent memory where I was like, whoa, that's like, that just sounds like poetic and awesome, and it's like a throwback to the art style of some of the old games. So, and when Nintendo brings their A game, as with Mario Galaxy 2, they're still just like amazing. It seems like there's a lot of really fantastic stuff at the show. Really, a lot of great shooters, obviously. So,
well, it's nice to hear that game development has not beaten your love for games out of you yet.
No. No, I don't think that'll happen. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, Greg, really appreciate your time. Have a good rest of the show.
Thanks, you guys too. Thanks a lot.